Welcome in, everyone. I know some people may be in the ad, so I'll give you guys a second to come in. As soon as I see some names, thank you. Because Streamyard is delayed by 10 seconds. So I'm going to go over to YouTube. Yep, hold on. Streamyard is delayed by 10 seconds. So I'm going to go over to YouTube. Okay, so I muted that tab. Okay, so I see the people starting to come in. Okay, here we go. All right, thank you again, guys, for being here. I see Boss Lady Denise. Hi, welcome in. Please do me a favor, guys. Please thumbs us up as you come in, and please share us out. This is a very important live stream, and I want everyone to join in the conversation. Let us know what's going on with you, your family members, your co-workers. B&B Reviews It is here. Thank you so much. Hi. Edward Smart is here. Hi, Edward. Hello. Harrison Family Vlogs is in the building. What's up? Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Crockett Way and the Life of Cleo. Soon as they come in, guys, I will introduce them. But while we're waiting, if you are on YouTube, I'm not sure if you can see it on your phone, but I have pinned a post, and I wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow I will be a panelist on Living Your Best Life. I will be on her panel, and we are going to be talking about, hold on, let me get my calendar, because I have so many coming up. I apologize. We will be talking about, okay, of course, now I can't find, oh, here it is. Putting your dreams into making your dreams a reality. That's what it's going to be called, making your dreams a reality. And that's at 3 p.m. tomorrow on her page. So please, make sure you guys have the bell on for that. And then on Monday, I did a live stream today, but he's posting it on Monday as a premiere with Mr. Johnny 25. If you guys are not connected to him, and over there, he interviewed me today. So go and check that out. And again, I thank you guys. I will be repeating that throughout the stream. I'm waiting for 2 more guests. As we wait, I'm going to be introducing people as I see them come in. And then I'm going to tell you what today's live stream is going to be about. Hey, as told by Tina. Thank you, babe. Thank you. I know you're on vacation, but thank you. B&B is saying hello. How's everyone? Says Tina. Edward Smart, thank you so much for sharing me out. We got 11 in the building. Please, again, thumbs us up as you come in. I would super appreciate that. We got 15 thumbs up. We have 12 watching. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, guys. So today, guys, here on Vernes Junk Closet, we will be talking about tributing the frontline workers. Now, I will give you, let me see if this is going to let me read my post here. It will. You guys can still hear me? Can you still hear me, Holistic?
Yeah.
Okay. So today it says a tribute to all frontline workers. So frontline workers are several people, okay? So I'm going to give you a list of what I have as a frontline worker. I thought I had wrote it on there, but evidently I didn't. But I do have it here, so give me a second to find it. And it consists of several kinds of people, okay? It's not just one kind of worker. It's not just nurses or doctors. Hold on. Crockett Way says something. Let me see what she said. Let's see. Let me make sure I got the Crockett Way on here. Give me a second, because she's on Instagram. She said, having difficulty, sis. I'm going to tell, okay, come to the stream. Sometimes that happens on IG. and you can't get in. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So as soon as she comes in, we will get started on that. So let me pull this up and give you guys an overview first of what or who are frontline workers. There are several categories. Okay, so, and this is not the entire list. This is just a bit. I thought I had it in the live stream. For some reason, I don't see it now. Let me go back to it because I was on here. I'm gonna go to the one on YouTube. I think it's on that one. Okay, let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, you got it in the description.
Okay, yeah, it's not on here. I'm gonna read it from the description there. Yeah. Oh, down because I know it's gonna go live. Thank you again, guys, for thumbsing it up. I super appreciate you. So, guys, here's a list of some, and again, this is not limited. Okay, it's just what I have. We have healthcare workers, which are nurses, doctors, anesthesiologists, anyone in that field. Police and EMTs, which is emergency medical technicians, I believe it stands for. Grocery store cashiers. Yes, grocery store workers are part of frontline workers because they have not worked. They have been working through the whole pandemic. We have janitors and maintenance workers, agricultural workers, the ones who make our meats, the one who gets the food in the plants for us. We have truck drivers. The truck drivers have to do the delivery. So yes, they are part of frontline workers. Bus drivers, they have to still pick us up, get us to work. For those of us that still have employment, some of us have lost our job through this. And then we have the financial industry, which is banks, stock markets, which is what I am in. And I have not missed work at all. However, I am working from home. I work from home 1 day a week. Okay, I'm sorry. I go into the office 1 day a week. Now, I do have underlying conditions. So I actually kind of don't even want to be there then, but I understand. So when I do go in, I'm making sure I am protected on me. I have the, if you see the Crockett Way in the stream, please let me know so I can drop the link for her. And what we will continue on is, being out there, putting ourselves out there at risk, in this crisis. And we want to thank all the frontline workers. We want to let them know we appreciate them so much. Hey, just vlogging live. How are you? Grateful to all the frontline workers. Blessings to you all. That's okay. You can't stay long. Thank you so much. Hey, just Teresa. Hi. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you, B&B, for sharing us out. Blacklight Records. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yes, shout out to all the frontline workers, Harrison. It really is, guys. You have to remember the doctors, the people who have babies, the people that are delivering the babies, and then sometimes the people, the parents, the women that give birth, sometimes they turn around and they get COVID because they were in the hospital having a baby. So it's a whole gamut of things. We're going to talk about all that today. What do you mean, frontline workers? Let's talk truth. Did just say what a frontline worker was. I hope you heard. If not, I'm happy to repeat it for you. Hey, just me, Fifi, Unique Fee. What's up? Hi, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not allowed to work, so I'm curious. Yes, is anyone that has not missed their job since the COVID-19? Most of the people that are very connected with people that swab, for the COVID-19. We have Red Cross. We have all those people that deal with not just the medical profession. Boss lady, my hubby is definitely a frontline worker and people try to sneak in without a mask. It's crazy. Yes, Teresa. Yes. Yes. Those big box stores, people that are there, they're part of frontline because they haven't closed their facilities. Let's see. Let's Talk said, this exists because life must go on. We must move forward despite all odds, stormy weather, despite all trials, tribulations. Yes, yes. And I do want to make a special disclaimer. Let me just get to the end of the stream. I changed my name from Gary Armstrong. Oh, okay, Gary, thanks. All right, all right. You're welcome, you're welcome. So I want to let you guys know, because this is important. This is a pandemic, COVID-19, okay? It is a health crisis. This has nothing to do with religion. Just because you may think it's a hoax or you think it's because of the president, the thing that's going on with him with the voting and all that, that has nothing to do with the pandemic, okay? So please, this is nothing to do with religion. I know people think it's not real. People think it's fake. Well, I want to give you an eye opener. Tell that to the people whose family members died of COVID-19. The cop, it was a lady cop and her husband was a police officer. Or it might be vice versa. I might have it mixed up. But yeah, she was a cop and he was a fireman. And their 6-year-old daughter, Skylar, died from COVID-19. Tell that to them. Tell that to the people in the nursing homes whose parents have died and they couldn't get in to say goodbye to them. So COVID-19 is very real. There are doctors. I'm from New York, and you know New York was hit awful. There are doctors that killed themselves, took their own lives because they couldn't take it anymore because they kept seeing all of these people dying. So this has nothing to do with religion, okay? So please, okay, there's Cleo. Cleo, I'm going to drop the link for you, hon. And if the Crockett Way comes in, if any of my mods see the Crockett Way, please tell her to click that link and come on up. This is a great topic. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, E. Belize, my twin, listening but driving. Thank you so much, sis. Okay, we're waiting for Cleo to come up, and we're going to have the Crockett Way, and then I'm going to introduce them to you guys, and then we're going to get into this. Thank you again for being here. Please thumbs up this live stream. Please share it out. This is a very important topic. You should be a leader for the people. I try, Gary. I try. Sad, right? Yes, Cleo, sad. It's not. It has nothing to do with religion. Nothing. Let me tell you guys something. COVID-19 doesn't care if you're Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, young, old. It doesn't care. It doesn't care your financial status. You could be rich, you could be poor, you could be in between. If you get COVID-19, there is no cure, there's no vaccination. However, some people do make it through, but however, a lot doesn't. And I did get a statistic. Right now, it's at 1 million people have lost their lives to COVID-19. It could be more, but that was as of, today is Saturday, that was as of Thursday night. So regardless if you believe it or not, 1 million people dead is 1 million people that are no longer with us. And we have to stop thinking that this has to do with religion. It has nothing to do with that. Let me see. I'm waiting for Cleo to come up. I don't see her yet. As soon as she clicked that link. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Annie Barlow, how are you? Hi, really, TT. Thank you. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Again, guys, this is going to be a tribute to all of our frontline workers, and then we're going to get into it. We got some great questions that we have set aside to ask our panelists. And welcome in. If you guys have questions, let me know as we're going through. And we will get into this because this is a real serious subject. Okay, so right now I have on the panel my friend, my sister, Holistic Living Down Under. If you guys do not have her, please go over there, look at her about section, connect with her, watch a video in full, leave a genuine comment, and subscribe. She is almost to 1K, I think 26, you said? 26 away, guys. 26 away from 1K. Let's help her get to 1K in this live stream. That was a great tribute to, to the frontline workers. How about that? Yes. So, guys, please go over there. So I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about her page when she goes live until we see the Crockett Way and Cleo come in. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Alrighty. So yeah, my name is Holistic Living Down Under. I live in Australia, although I'm originally from Norway. I have been a graduate as a nurse in 2006. I work now mainly with my disabled son. And I also have a husband who's an essential worker as well. So yeah, I love to promote health through food, healthy eating, all those sort of things. So I share a lot of recipes, other things that you can do just sort of for mental health, colouring, even who would have thought, just things to do to de-stress and everything like that as well. So so yeah, that's sort of a little bit about me and what I do. But yeah, I love to be on
How
here.
often do you
Thank
go
so
live
much.
over there, or do you upload?
I usually upload twice a week. So for me, that's Tuesday, Friday. I think in the morning. I think that works out to be, if you're in the USA, that works out to be Monday and Thursday in the evening. I think, sort of depending on where you are, late afternoon, evening.
Okay. I'm just.
And I do try occasionally. I'll do like live cooking, cooking with me and stuff as well. And it's a bit early here. It's like 7:15 in the morning, so we're up and early.
Okay. Crockett Way said she's having some difficulties. The Life of Cleo, are you still here? I have the link dropped in the chat for you. Let me look here and see if she's still here. Yeah, I do see her there. Let me drop it again for you. And we'll get started. And when they come in, we'll just pick it up there. Okay, guys. So Cleo, I dropped the link for you again. Let's Talk said, God bless all frontline workers. Without them and God, where would we be? Exactly. So guys, let me just give you some information that I have on the, again, it's over 1 million people. And if you go out, oh, there she is. Hey, Cleo, thanks for being here. Can you hear me?
Nervous. Yes, thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Cleo.
Thank you. Hold on one moment. Okay, hold on one moment. Okay. So, in Wisconsin, Missouri, and Kansas, the COVID-19 has doubled. And I got all this information this week. So that means if they were at, I'm just going to say 200, now they're at 400 a day. One a day is too many. So think about, oh, she dropped off. She'll come back. So think about that. So if you go out, we do ask that you wear your mask to protect not only you, but to protect the other person. Like for me with lupus, I have underlying conditions. So I need you to wear your mask because then I get freaked out. If you feel you don't want to wear a mask, if you feel that this is fake and this is a hoax, then stay home. Get someone else to go get your groceries for you because you're putting everyone else at risk. And being spiteful and coughing at people or saying, hey, now you got COVID-19, that's not funny. People are dying from this. So we have to use our brains and realize this is a pandemic, guys. We've never been in a pandemic before in America like this. I mean, we've been in it, but since I've been alive, this is awful. China, of course, they have had that plenty of times, so they know how to handle it. But for us, it's the first time. Some of us are nervous. Some of us are scared. And it's only right. But we have to use our minds and think about this, okay? So we're going to go over some of the symptoms and what you can do to protect yourself. One lady I was watching, she was a nurse in a hospital, and she said they had 3 units. She left on Thursday, and they dedicated 1 unit to COVID-19. And she said it was only like maybe 4 or 5 people. That was on Thursday. She came back Friday night. All 3 units was full to the brim with COVID-19 patients. She said she was in shock. Just now, this week, guys, this is still happening. Okay, think because it's not every day like it was before that it's not here. It is still here. It is very real. Okay? With people socializing, going out to restaurants, going out to bars, weddings, cruises, wherever in these big, huge places, if it's more than 6 people, that's more than many. That means you need to protect yourself, to wear your mask, make sure you're covered. And people are going out socializing, thinking, oh, we can go over to grandma's house and not realizing where were you at 2 or 3 days before that, because grandma has a condition and now grandma has COVID. Now grandma's going to die in 3 days. It can happen that fast. I've seen people die in 3, 4, 7 days. That's too fast. So we have to protect ourselves and know that this is a real crisis, okay? Hospitals here where I live at, I'm in New York. They are starting to suspend visitations again. Before they were letting in one person, now it's no one. Now it's no people, because we're starting to see a rise. We are starting to get cold in the eastern area where I'm at. And we get severe weather, severe winters.
That's right. And it's going to be hard to differentiate the difference with COVID and the influenza, right? So
and allergies.
Yes, because my son right now is coughing, and it's just like, he didn't go to school all week, because the first thing they're gonna think, oh my God, he has COVID. Poor thing has asthma as well, right? So.
And Toronto, I know you're not too far. Toronto, I was watching it this morning because I've been keeping up with it. Toronto this morning saying they're starting to see an increase and they're getting nervous. They're getting scared, and I don't blame them. Let's talk truth. Give me one moment.
Right.
So I'm going to Cleo explain her channel and we go live and what she do, and then I'll bring up Let's Talk Truth. So go ahead, Cleo.
Oh no, you're right. You're totally right, and it's kind of hard for me to speak too much of it on the topic because of my license. But where I work in the long-term care facility, we're prepared. On my unit, I had only 2 patients, and we were isolated, and only one set of persons were allowed to work on each side. So it didn't spread as, we're seeing in other facility. Because I work for the city of Toronto, so they're pretty good.
Yep, I just saw it this week, and I'm just like, better to wear a mask than a ventilator. Yes, it is, Edward. That is so true. That is so true. It's better to wear a mask than because who said you can come off that ventilator? Because I know they're like 14, 15 days, and they actually don't want to keep you on because there's short supply of ventilators, PPE protection for the nurses, for the doctors. They're when it first started, they didn't have all of this, and there was nurses and doctors working without protection. How fair is that? This is the United States. This should not be happening. I don't
it's crazy.
We're gonna
like
have
the
the
fact that
second
you have
phase of it.
to.
There's no second phase, and the first phase hasn't left. Okay, Denise. Hey, Hood Girl, how are you? Thank you for being here. So I'm gonna bring up Let's Talk Truth, and then I'm gonna get back to the. Thank you. You can talk. Let me see. I just don't want to miss anybody in the stream. Hi, Self Love. How are you? I wear masks all the time. Thank you for doing that. Hey, Bless 143 Mariposa.
Places have to
Welcome
ask people
in.
to sew masks for them. It's crazy. The fact that there's no actual sterile masks. They have to get people to sew them up. It's just mind blowing.
No, that's not.
It is crazy.
Okay, hold on one moment, guys. Hi, Let's Talk Truth. I'm gonna have you come up, but just be wary of your time because we have a panel going on. Okay.
Yes,
all right. How are you today?
Blessed. Blessed. This is a beautiful topic. I just heard you say these things shouldn't be happening, but these things has to take place in order for the other things in the future to take place. 2022 is going to be the worstest year, and this is a stage that's being set because for the vaccine to come into place, the martial law, the checkpoints. A lot of us have researched and studied these catastrophic catastrophe events, so we're ahead of our time. Like I say, these things has to take place. The vaccine is coming. Checkpoints are coming. Your new driver's license is not going to just be a driver's license. It's going to be proof that you are COVID-free. Paperwork showing that you are free. You're going to have to get through. Martial law is coming. The soldiers are coming. You're going to have to get through them to get to work and get to the places you need to get to. So, this is a beautiful topic. the truth is under attack. Education is under attack. So it's a blessing to have people like yourself doing lives like this, getting this truth out there, getting this education out there, getting this knowledge, this wisdom, the understanding that comes with it. It's sad to see people breaking the laws and people not working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just have to keep being prayerful.
Right. And you have to have some security. Right now, everybody should be stacking up on water and food.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed when this came, there was a lot of people rushing to get water and food, but there is a time that's about to come where it's going to be too late. And they're going to be thinking that because they ran and did everything they did, they were good. But those very people we just seen running crazy and running wild, it's going to be sad because they're not going to be stacked up. They're not going to be stacked up on everything they're supposed to have because you're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to move. Our education is under attack. There's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to talk like this. This is going to be,
I think so.
This type of communication and conversation and topics is going to be treated like a crime. It's going to be illegal. So everybody better read, and like she said, pray, and keep reading and keep praying, educate yourself. The preachers and the school teachers is going through a lot. You should see what the school teachers are going through now, dealing with virtual learning. Nobody wants to read. I'd rather sit back and let the preacher preach it to me and tell it to me. But how do I know what that preacher is preaching out of that book if I haven't went and read that book myself?
Right. Yeah. Gary, I have my other panelist just came up the Crockett Way. All right. Thank you so much for being here and sharing that. Please stay in the stream, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. God bless.
All right. Thank you. So we have the Crockett Way here. So guys, I'm going to have her introduce herself and then we're going to get into our conversation. And I know you say you're short on time, Crockett, but thank you. You look lovely. My beautiful sister. Thank you so much for being here. So we have Holistic Downunder up top and we have Cleo right next to you and then myself. So here goes the Crockett Way. And then we're going to get into this because there are some things that I really wanted to touch on because we have two RNs which are registered nurses. And I want you guys to hear from them because, again, we are all frontline workers and they are on the front line, okay, if there's a such thing. But they're in front of the line besides me and Tina, as told by Tina. We're financial, but they are in the actual hospital. So I'm going to have her introduce herself, say what she's saying, and we're going to get into this conversation.
First of all, Vernes, thank you so much for having me, and I apologize to you and the panelists and everyone in the chat for being late. This is not like me. It seems like everything goes crazy right when we're about to get on, but I am so grateful that I finally made it. But my name is Lena Crockett, and I am part of the Crockett Way family. I recently graduated from registered nursing school. Took my NCLEX and passed in August. August the 4th is a day I will never forget. August the 4th, 2020. So I'm grateful for that. So I've been an LPN for almost 5 years prior to going back to school to get my RN. So this is a totally different realm for me. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm excited to share my experiences as a nurse with you all.
Thank you so much. So the first thing I wanted to talk on was the PPE. And we know when COVID first started, how it affected, you know, I'm in New York. So, you know, New York was devastated. And, you know, other states too, but I'm speaking from where I'm at. New York was devastated with not having enough, I'm going to cry, protection for the nurses and the doctors who are right there. How can they serve us, the public, us care if they're not protected? They have to protect their family. And then I want to talk about the mental health of you and your coworkers. And I'm going to start with Holistic Downunder, and then we'll go to Cleo, and then we'll come back to the Crockett Way.
I think compared to the USA, I think we've been in a bit of a unique situation, especially here in Australia and especially in my state. We are a smaller, well, area-wise, we're a big state, but we're smaller. Our town is a city is a smaller town. It consists predominantly of houses, separate houses. It's not a lot of apartment living and communal areas like that. So we were really lucky in the fact that we were able to keep the spread down. We had only a few amount of cases, and we were lucky enough that the hospitals had enough PPEs for their staff, thank goodness. And at the moment, what it is at the moment, we're actually case free. We have no cases at all in our state, which is however, we did have we've just been going through a second wave in Victoria, which is where Melbourne is, as well as Sydney have had second waves, and they are currently trying to reduce this down. Right. So I think they got problem with there was that they obviously were getting complacent. You were saying earlier, Vern, that people meeting up together, don't worry about wearing masks and everything, and that really showed. But I would also say it also showed. I think back in, when was it? Oh, July. London and Melbourne were like this. They had the exact same number of cases.
Wow.
What happened was that Melbourne got completely locked down again. They went to a stage 4 or 5 lockdown, which meant they could only have one person going to the shops. They could only have a few. You were only allowed outside for like an hour just for exercise, right, for a walk, right, with the kids. The kids had to stay home from school again. London didn't do the same. And what we're seeing now is that we are getting things under control here while they are sitting at, I think last time I saw was something like 15,000 cases a day in London, while we are way down, had 0 cases, I think now again. 0 or like 1 case. So it just goes to show that it works. Like the lockdowns, social distancing, wearing masks, it all works when it's done by the vast majority of people. It only takes one person not to do the right thing, cough in the wrong place, and put their hand on something, and someone else put their hand on it. And especially then if the nurses and doctors don't have enough PPE in the hospitals where all of these people will go, you're putting everyone else at risk, and people with autoimmune disorders and everything as well are especially, exactly. I've got a good friend who's got lupus as well, so I've also seen firsthand how sick she can get from something as common as a cold. So
because it could take us out because we're already. Absolutely. And with you, or not you, but with the person that is out there socializing, going to these gatherings, I would not go to no place. I don't care if it is your wedding. It could be my sister's wedding. 100 people. I'm not coming, sis. I'm not coming. You have to decide. And if you do go, are you going to wear a mask when they say mask is optional? Are you kidding me? Mask isn't optional. You're going to wear a mask or we're not having this. Like, let's think.
Back in the Spanish flu days, like we're talking 100 years ago, there's photos of people with masks. They put things across their face because they knew it would help. They still didn't have, obviously, the medical options that we have today, and so many millions of people died.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, how many was it? Was it something like 20? I can't quite remember. I have to go look up the Spanish flu compared to now, but we have so many more resources now. We have scientists who study these things, and to say that that's optional, no.
Right. And in New York, when it first came out, and I would say that started in March, I would say around April, May, they were doing commercials, and you would see all the doctors and the nurses and, the CNAs, all the workers in the hospital, they would do a commercial with the mask, and they would have the frame of the mask around their face because they had it on all day. And remember, they didn't have enough PPE, so they had to use the same one. So you couldn't wash. It's like, this is not acceptable. This is the United States. This should not be happening. We need to get this under control. We need to. So I'm going to go to the life of Cleo. Tell us how it's going over in your states, or do you have any concerns?
No, I work in long-term care, and I worked there for over 15 years. So far, there's no cases. And when we do have cases, it was kept under control. Like, we had PPE, and again, when we did have the cases, it was managed properly. So there wasn't any cross-contamination between units.
Thank goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
Crockett Way dropped off again. Yeah, and the cases is just, you know, we have to make sure the older people, you know, like you said, the long-term care, palliative care, all of that, you know, it's the workers that are bringing it from the outside, not on purpose, but because they are doing that. Oh, Crockett Way is back. Hold on. There she goes. She back. And it's just, we just have to be careful.
Yeah. So they have we have to be tested every 2 weeks.
Okay.
On all shifts. So if you refuse to do that, you could do it at whatever healthcare provider, your doctor, your whatever walk-in clinic or pharmacy, but it has to be done just for the seniors, for our residents, and for everyone, for your family as well, because you want to make sure that you're not taking it home.
Right, exactly. We're going to get into that in a minute, especially with you two, because you're in the actual facility. I want to know, what were you doing and how did you prepare yourself not to take it home or not to give it to your family? So I'm going to have the Crockett Way first talk on the PPE, because you said you're a fairly new nurse, RN, you're an LPN. How was it with you when it first happened and started? I know we were going to do a thing on it before about people that were affected, but it was so early. We were like, okay, maybe we should wait. So how do you feel, what's going on with the PPE protections where you are?
So when COVID first came out, I didn't work at all. I was home, thank God, with my baby and my family. So I wasn't really impacted by the knowledge of the shortage and all of those things. And I'm very grateful for that. But I do have nursing friends who experienced it. And a lot of those nurses decided to take jobs abroad, New York, New Jersey, to go and help out. So they traveled out, and they would come back and talk about their stories where they would have the N95 masks. And for those of you who don't know what an N95 is, it's a mask that basically won't let any particles through. Unlike the surgical mask that you see a lot of people wearing, the blue ones, there are particles that can get through that, just so you guys know. But
Please, thank you for saying.
Right. So the nurses, they would come and tell me that they would actually have to wash their N95 masks and hang them up in their hotel windows or wherever they were to let them dry out and reuse them. That is absolutely unacceptable, because you got to think about it.
Unacceptable.
You're washing your mask under a sink. It's not sterile, you know, so whatever's in the water supply is going to get in you. And so those are the conditions that they had to work under. And God knows, I pray a lot for them. And I know some nurses who know some nurses who passed away as a result, because they were helping and they contracted the virus and they didn't make it. So from my understanding, it was pretty bad as far as PPE is concerned. The gowns, the gloves, all of those, they had to recycle. And that takes us way back, what I call the Stone Age. You know, back then doctors weren't wearing gloves when they were helping women give birth to their babies and things like that. What's the difference if you're, you know, reusing a glove? So I didn't experience it, and I'm grateful. Right now, PPE is not as bad an issue because I'm working now, but they ration it out. So they tell you, use it wisely, because I know working in the hospitals or working in long-term care, we can be pretty
wasteful.
Thank you, wasteful, you know. So rationing out and doing what you're supposed to do can help you, but it has gotten a lot better.
So how do you feel about, if you get a state, you don't have to, what state you're in, are they talking about they're going to see an increase? Are they assuming this? Are they getting ready, prepared? What's their mindset right now?
So I'm in the state of Florida, and our wonderful governor decided that it was okay to completely open the state, remove all restrictions. Me personally, I don't agree with it. As a result, people are going back to the clubs. My husband sometimes has
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. My husband has to leave home at 12 a.m. sometimes to go to work, right? And on his way to work last Saturday, he saw this, what was an abandoned building filled with cars and people in the parking lot. So what are you doing at 12 a.m. in the middle of the night? You're not having a revival. They were clubbing. And the
Not a club.
full. Yes, the parking lot was full. So as soon as the governor decided to open the state of Florida, everybody went buck wild. So now,
no mask.
Now, you know, they probably weren't wearing masks. And if they were, they weren't wearing them properly. You know what? I'm going to grab my mask at some point during this interview and show everybody how to properly wear it. You go into
Please
the store
do.
and you see people with the mask down to here. That's not acceptable. But anyway, as a result of opening the state, the prevalence, the rise of cases is starting to rise again because people, they feel like, oh, the state's open. That means, you know, I'm okay. No, it doesn't mean you're okay. It just means you don't have those restrictions that you once had before, but you still need to be safe because people are still dying from corona.
Is Angel Lives here in the chat? If Angel Lives is in the chat, please come up. So I want to talk about the mental health of your co-workers or people that you may know that have been around the COVID units, COVID patients. Are they getting scared because they're thinking we're going to get another wave? Are they okay with it? Let me know how you're feeling. Holistic, are you hearing anything from your co-workers or, you know, that the area that you work in?
Let's say no, well, not at the moment because obviously we're in that unique situation here that we don't have any cases at the moment. So I can't help.
That's okay. That's okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting everyone. That's okay. Cleo?
Yeah, I think if we were to completely reopen the state and including reopening the borders, I think people would feel a whole lot more. I don't know. Some people keep, you know, because we closed down, like all the borders between the states were shut. You were not allowed to travel between states. And now we have some travel bubbles. So, for example, we're allowed to travel from South Australia into Queensland, which is the northern parts, northeastern part of Australia, which is where you have like Gold Coast and all the theme parks and those sort of things. So that's allowed, but we're still not allowed to go into Victoria where they had the second wave.
Oh wow!
But I think if that, like they were finding people were trying to sneak in. Like when they closed down the borders again into Victoria, they found people from Victoria aboard trucks, hiding in trucks. It was full on. We're talking like illegal immigrant style, hiding in trucks, trying to cross the borders in different places. It was mental. And I think one of the things that shows is that we actually can't trust people to do the right thing.
Right. Right.
It seems that we need to have these really strict set guidelines for this to get under control because, yeah, as you said, Lena, people just went out and partied. Mm-hmm. And
we also have to have our leaders on the same page. You can't have one leader saying, as Crockett Way said in her state, oh, come on in. But then here in New York, we're like, no, if you get it, we're shutting it down. And then you have the leader saying, oh, yeah, I had it. It's okay. It's
yeah, like, don't let it control you.
we can't. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
It's too much.
Yeah. How is your mental health or your co-workers' mental health? Because we're getting cold, because Cleo and I are not too far from us, and we get really bad winters. So we don't know if this is going to be the flu. We don't know if it's going to be allergies, or if it's COVID-19. And I know that I have lupus, guys, but I do not want to take the COVID test because I don't want to believe I have it. And I, you know, if I get that sick, of course I will. But really thinking about it, I don't want to be tested. But, you know, because I have allergies, but I don't know if it's COVID. You know, if I get a fever, if I get like, we're going to talk about the symptoms too, a few more of the symptoms, then yes. So Cleo, how are your co-workers or your mental health through this pandemic?
Initial phase, we were all crying.
Of course.
When it first came, I used to work 2 jobs, and now we're down to 1 because we're not allowed to work in different facility. And we, even though we were nurses and we were seeing all these things going on, I was crying actually. But now, because we know how to deal with it and so forth, to move on, and we dealt with it and we had cases, I think we're a little bit more prepared, but everybody's kind of preparing for the second wave. So for me, knowing that, that it's the flu season, I'm kind of like, I'm okay, but not okay kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm going to tell you, my mental health is, some days I just sit and I cry, especially when I get a cough. I have lupus. Like, could this be COVID? Is this just allergies? Is this the flu? Even the flu can hurt me as a lupus patient. So I'm frightened. I'm not going to lie. I'm so glad I only go into work 1 day a week. But that one day, the day before, I have to prepare my mindset because I literally am not ready. I'm not ready. I get psychosomatic and I'm like talking to myself and I freak out. I have panic attacks in the grocery store. You know me, guys. I'm very transparent. I'm very honest with you. This is what happens. So I'm going to have the Crockett Way tell us, how are your co-workers in Florida? We know what they went through. Maybe, someone that may have been working through this, how is their mental health? How are they doing it? What are they doing for themselves to make sure that, their mental health is okay?
I believe that as a result of COVID, and I'm talking from a nurse, CNA, medical professional standpoint, it has really affected the way we care for patients. You got some nurses who absolutely positively refuse to see a patient who's positive for COVID. Me personally, I understand that. I understand it. At the same time, these people also need care. So there's this divide. And it affects you mentally, especially when you're one of those nurses who you're here for the job to really truly care for people and not just a paycheck. So it affects your psyche because you know what you need to do, but at the same time, you got to think about that little baby you have at home. You have to think about that grandmother who's on asthma, who's living with, or who has asthma or heart disease or COPD, who's living with you. So there's that divide mentally. And that's one way to describe how it's really affecting people. Another way it's affecting my coworkers is they worry about their livelihood, because if they decide to walk away from their jobs, the government's not paying their bills.
Wow.
And so then they're forced to do something that they really don't want to do because they're worried about their children or they're worried about their family members. So I think it's an internal battle that we have within ourselves. And speaking about what you mentioned, the anxiety that you get just by going into the grocery store, that comes from people who don't want to do right. Because if you go into that grocery store, there's going to be somebody with their mask down here. There's going to be somebody who coughs into their hand and not into their elbow and touches the jug of milk that you decided to get, then decided you didn't want to get.
I need a nurse. I'm about to pass out. Oh my God. But serious, this is really what happens. I'm in the store, in the line, everything is good. Then I look over, I see 6 people with no mask and they're black, spitting and like, oh my God. Like, and that's it. My heart start racing. I start sweating. I have to go outside. I can't catch my breath. Panic attacks, man. It's like you have no control. It takes over you.
Absolutely. I'm going to share a quick story with you guys. I went to the Dollar General. This was a few weeks ago. This was after the state opened. And I got out of my car and I was headed to the door before I realized I didn't have my mask. So I quickly dashed away from the door and nearly ran into this FedEx worker, FedEx, UPS, I don't remember. And she said to me, "Oh, don't worry about it. They allow you to go in without a mask."
Woo, girl. Oh my God.
I had on my nursing uniform and everything, so she should have known better than that. But anyway, I said, they may not mind, ma'am, but I do. And she proceeded to walk into the Dollar General without her mask. Now, this is a worker, okay, who delivers people's goods to their homes and to the stores. Telling me
That's how fast it could be spread.
Exactly. So we gotta be smart, y'all. Even when you feel like you're not working around people medically, you gotta be smart.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you go get the mask and show everybody how to wear it properly. And what do you think about this? Again, with the grocery store or the Dollar General, I'll see people come in, they have small children, and this is just me, guys. Charge it to me, no one else's opinion. What the heck you have on your mask, but your kids don't? Why? Like, I'm literally sitting here, I'm hitting my husband, like, don't start. And I'm like, like, why would you have your child in the store with no mask?
So
I can't.
that is a very controversial topic. I'm gonna let Ms. Life and Cleo speak on that one, and then I'll speak on it.
Oh my God.
Okay,
No,
I'm gonna bring up Let's Talk Truth, Naya's World. Give me one moment.
Okay, but it's mandatory for us in Canada here, and if I'm in the parking lot and I forget, I keep a bunch in my vehicle. They're everywhere. So for us, it's mandatory. And for kids,
I'm gonna bring up Let's Talk Truth for one moment. Again, I have a panel going on, so this is why I'm not bringing up anyone. This is just for the panel, but I'm gonna let him talk for a few minutes, and then we're gonna come back to our panel. What did you want to say?
Hey, everything y'all saying, I'm just sitting here. I haven't went anywhere. I'm just sitting here listening to everything y'all saying. I hope when this is over with, y'all take the time to sit back and look at this video again, at least one more time. Just at least one more time, because everything that's been said is true. And this is the reason why the martial law and the checkpoints is going to come into play. Because everything Miss Holistic said is true. Everything is you saying is true. You just got to take it all and dissect it and look at it all. It's true. Everything you're saying is happening. I'm listening at 47 years old, being almost half of 100. Speaking from experience, I'm disabled. I'm disabled. I can't go in no social security office in the country, but I still get that disability money, that shut up money, that hush money, that 40 acres in the mule money, that government money. Every first of the month, I'm waiting on it Friday. I'm just telling you, everything y'all saying is true. Everything is happening. I have babies. I have babies here with me. I have babies who I take care of. My wife is gone right now. You have lupus. Well, my wife has sarcoidosis, the disease that killed Bernie Mac. And I'm scared and I'm worried. You talk about.
We just had a friend who's a YouTuber. Her sister just passed away from that. Literally Monday. Today was the homegoing.
Right, and we talk about mental health. The reason why mental health is one of the biggest diseases in the world. It's one of the biggest diseases in the world, mental health. And this done made mental health even worse than what it was.
Oh yeah. Especially people with anxiety.
Yes, everything y'all saying right now is true. And the reason why it's happening is because these things have to happen in order for the scriptures to fulfill itself. And everything y'all saying, the doctors is going through what the Crockett Way said, everything she's saying. And here in Colorado, a police officer was just killed out of the county I just moved away from about 2 months ago. A protester was just killed by a security guard. They ain't respecting the laws.
No.
They're doing what they want to do here in Colorado. They clubbing, they borrowing, everything the Crockett Way said. It's happening right here in Colorado. Everything the Crockett Way said, her husband, what she seen, what her husband was going through when he came, all of that is happening right here. Everything y'all saying is true. We have words to settle. I know I don't have much time. And Ms. Vernes will tell you, once the guy gets to using my mouth, I can't stop. So it ain't me that's speaking. So don't give me, I don't want your credits, no thank yous. I don't want no props. Go read. I've been in 30 different prisons, 8 county jails, 6 city jails. I have a bullet sitting between my lungs
Oh
and my
my
heart.
gosh. Don't even talk about the jails. We can't even get into that. We got to do another live stream for that.
I'm saying all of that to say this. I'm making a point here. That was my then. This is my now. That was my famine. This is my harvest. The reason why a lot of this is happening and the mental health exists and they clubbing and y'all and even this live exists is because the people won't read. They won't research. They don't want to educate themselves. And that's the reason why that little kid is running around through the grocery store without a mask on. And that's the reason why her husband came home with a story like that to tell.
That is ridiculous.
This is not a game. I survived all of that. I thank God that was my then, and this is my now, and that was my famine, and this is my harvest. Yeah, we want to talk about the jails because the jails, the pandemic, aka pandemic, is presenting themselves in the jails. So we want to talk about the jails sometime because the jails is going through more hell right now than the jails was going through before all of this came.
And when people can't get in, Crockett Way probably doing on it.
I'm listening. You asked me not. I'm sitting here listening. You spoke about the leaders. You see, the world leaders, they realized they couldn't do it no more. They realized they couldn't lead us no more. It ain't easy being a leader. I done been 37 years old. I done tried it all just about. I can talk like this. There was a time where I couldn't talk like this. I wouldn't dare hop on here and speak because God hadn't touched my mouth yet. You talk about what the world leaders was going through. They've been going through a lot, so they gave up.
Oh, yeah.
They gave up. We're responsible now. That's why the police is only coming to certain calls now, and they ain't answering them one calls that they used to answer all the time. That's your responsibility now. That's your accountability now. And you better use your brain, or you will be locked up in jail or somewhere going through the pandemic in a way you shouldn't be. I'm glad I'm here with my babies. I'm glad I'm here waiting on my wife to come home to me. My auntie got lupus. My wife got sarcoidosis, and I don't want her to go to work. That's mental health for me.
Yeah, it's mental health first.
Come back. She take off her clothes. She doing nursery. She take off her clothes soon as she come through the door. I gotta have her water ready to disinfect her.
We getting ready to go. We getting ready to talk about that right now. And the mask. Thank you. You have a good one. Thank you so much.
Hey, just do this for me. Especially all of y'all, especially you on the counter. The life of Cleo, the Crockett Way, the holistic living down under. Will y'all please take this video, this live right here? My wife just came home. I gotta go. I gotta go too. Wife just came home. Take this video. Look at this again. Look at it again and share it. Share it because we have words to settle. God said when we come together, we have words to settle. Spread it. Because this is truth right here. This is the truth.
Yeah.
This is
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep coming with
Love
these.
you.
Love you. You're doing good. Proud of you. She's
Thank
the truth.
you.
Y'all better stay in tune with her. She's the truth. This ain't no accident. This was supposed to happen. You better go on and click me off of here because I don't know how to leave.
Thank you. Okay. Peace to you. Thank you so much. Denise Living Better said she heard that the cloth masks are better than the other. We're going to talk about that because the Crockett Way was just speaking on that, and we're going to get into some more questions. Thank you. Hey, Living Better. How you doing? Hey, Natural. Hey, Eat to Live Strong. Thank you guys for being here. Please thumbs us up and share us out. And again, guys, if you don't have any of the panelists, please make sure you check out their pages. We have the Crockett Way, Holistic Living Down Under, and the Life of Cleo. And if my mods could at least drop their links in the stream. And if you don't have Holistic Living Down Under, she's only 26. She's probably less than that now since we've been on, away from 1K. So let's help her out. If you're not connected to her, make sure you're grabbing her up. Let's get her to 1K tonight. Keep checking your numbers, Holistic. Let us know where you are. So thank you, guys. Okay, I'm going to have the Crockett Way finish that. Then I'm going to go to Cleo.
Okay. All right. So I have 3 different masks. Many of you may be familiar with these. This one here, is that what you want me to talk about now, Vernes, the masks? Okay. All right. So this is the mask that we're all familiar with. This is the surgical mask. okay? This is a surgical mask, and we're all familiar with this. And I'm just gonna show y'all how to properly put it on. And this is the one that I told you guys, it only, can you hear me?
I'm sorry. I said yes, and let them know that the correct way is that white bar up top, not.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's a good point. We're going to talk about that too. And sometimes they have a white bar at the bottom too, but I'll show you guys how to actually determine which part goes on your nose and which part goes on your chin. But this is a mask that does not keep out 100% of particles, okay? This is a surgical mask. This is what doctors... This is what doctors, nurses, medical professionals use during surgery, and that's to keep their germs out.
Oh, I'm gonna cry because this.
Yeah, it helps keep my germs away from the surgical field. Okay, so this is how you put it on. It has two little things on each side. It goes behind your ears, guys. Your ears. All right, and oh, let me tell you real quick. So to determine which part touches your nose, if you feel the top and bottom of the mask, you will feel, it feels like, I don't know, a plastic bendy device in it. The other side does not. That plastic, metal, whatever it is, bendy device goes on your nose. Let me tell you why. When you put the mask on, okay, you pinch that part, and that helps keep us sealed. It's not 100%, but it helps with fitting. Okay, so whenever you put on these surgical masks, pinch the nose part, because if this part is open, guess what's coming down there? Okay, so pinch it. All right, so that's the surgical mask. Okay, the N95 masks look different. Okay. This is I have two N95.
That's the one I have.
Okay, this is an N95 mask. Okay, this keeps out nearly 100% of particles. Not exact. Okay, guys, it's not 100%, but it's a lot more than the surgical.
That's
mask.
like what people use as asbestos and automotive field,
yes.
of that nature, to keep those particles from getting into your lungs.
Yes. See how it looks? This is just an example, okay? And this one, you put, oh, I'm gonna mess up my hair. Okay, that's okay. You put it over.
Not the hair now, come on.
You put it over, oh, it looks a little off, hold on, y'all. But anyway, you put it over, and look, you see that metal thing? You see that? It's at my nose, pinch it, okay? You pinch it, all right? This one people have a hard time with because they say, I can't breathe. Well, guess what? That's a good thing, because guess what? Nothing's coming in. All right. So just think about that. All right. So these are perfect. Another N95. I got this from Amazon, and many of you can get them from Amazon as well. Okay. This one's a little bit less dense. Okay. It can be folded. Okay. Compact. All right. And it's the same thing. It has that metal part at the top, not at the bottom. And this goes behind your ears, just like the surgical mask. Pinch. Okay. This is another N95. I like these because they're more comfortable. Okay. So those are the different masks. Cloth masks, guys. Let me tell you something. When you have these cute little old ladies in their houses making these masks for you, a lot of times they don't have inserts inside to help block out particles from coming in. They are
for the filter.
Thank you, filter. They are fashionable, but they ain't doing a darn thing. So
you better teach today, Crockett.
Keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. If you want to wear your cute little mask, that's fine. But put the N95 on first, and then put your cute mask over top. Okay, so if you gotta wear your cute little mask, but keep that in mind.
I put a handkerchief or another cloth or something inside my mask, because some masks do have the filter with pocket. Put a handkerchief in there.
Yep. And like you see people wearing the handkerchief mask, these are the fab. But guys, those things.
Wait, and the ones that come up over your neck, they said those aren't good either.
No, are they? No. All those do is keep dust out of your mouth. That's it. And viruses are a fraction of the size of a piece of dust. So just keep that in mind, family.
Yes.
Can
Cleo,
also
did you
add
want to say
in,
anything about the oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Holistic.
Yeah, with the masks as well, if you're out and about, if you go to the car, you've been to the shops, you go into the car, don't take your mask off if you're going somewhere else, because then you're starting touching stuff. You're putting your mask down on the seat. Whatever's on the front of that mask is now on your seat, your other car seat. And then you're going to touch it again and try to fiddle with it. If you go to more shops, keep it on.
And
Don't
stop
touch
doing
it.
this.
When it's time to take it off, if you have to take it off and you're out of the house, have a little Ziploc bag with you. Open that up, drop it into the bag, and snap it shut before you can. If this is a reusable one that you're washing, that way it's safe. It's not going to go anywhere. Whatever's on that mask as well. So it's just, especially as nurses, like we know about sterile fields, and once you're sterile, and of course, the second you have all of this stuff on, that's when you want to touch your face. But please don't touch the front of your mask. And if you happen to do it, you need to sanitize your fingers. You need to sanitize
just like the
your
gas pump. They'll go to the gas pump, and then I'll see them touch their face, and I'm like freaking out. My husband's like, "Would you calm down?" I'm like, "I can't. He just touched his face." Stop. If you have hand sanitizer in your car, I just found this out about a month ago. Not to keep, well, now the weather's changing, but at the time it was hot. Not to keep it in your car. I didn't know it could cause combustion and explode. I didn't know that because it has the alcohol in it. Yep.
Keep it if you're out. Yeah, keep it in your bag. Because if you're in your car, you usually have your air conditioner on. And if you're out of your car, usually you're somewhere where it's cool enough that it's not gonna blow up on you.
If it's hot enough, I can't imagine what place in the world would be so hot enough to make it just spontaneously combust. But if it's near a flame, it's going to set fire. Because
if it's in your car and it's like 90 degrees and it's summertime, it's the car is hot on the inside. So
I don't know, but I possibly.
I know. I was like, "What? What did you say, Cleo? Did you have something to say?"
No. No. So, someone in the chat is asking about the rules in the countries if they have asthma. I have asthma. You still have to wear your mask. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. And if you have an underlying condition and you can't get to the store, they have these services like Instacart and stuff. What's the other one? Not Fubu. What's the one that delivers the food? They have other ones that you can call and have them deliver your food for you if you can't get to the store. I would say do that instead of going to the store without wearing a mask. Denise says it's the wire safe. You're welcome, 99.
Some of the masks don't have wire, they have plastic. If you have some sort of allergy to metals, it's going to irritate you. So keep that in mind too. And a lot of times people complain about the masks that go behind the ears. I'm one of the people who complain about it because I have very sensitive skin. It irritates my ears. It really does irritate my ears. So if you have issues with that, I'm going to show you guys what you can get. I'm going to go in and go get it. And it's a little device you clip to the strings of the mask and it goes around your head and it completely bypasses your ears. So I'll show you guys how that is. So yeah.
Natura says she uses the one from Target. Eat to Live Strong says so true facts. Leave them on until you are done. Mr. Johnny said this is highly informative. What are the rules in your respective countries? Okay, that's what he just said. Okay. You're welcome. Living better with style, Rucker. Yes. We want everyone, I don't touch anything with gloves, right, to be safe, but we also are here, guys. So please say thank you to all of our frontline workers, including myself. We have Cleo, who is an RN. We have Crockett Way, who is an RN. And then we have the holistic living down under, who's also in the medical profession. So please say thank you for their service to all of us on here, because that's what this is for. I've seen someone spray their surgical mask with bleach or alcohol and use it over. I don't know about that. Any you guys? I don't know.
Nope.
I wouldn't. Just because I'm just thinking, like the fibers and everything, they're gonna start disintegrating in there. The more stuff you're putting on it, and you're gonna get less protection. So
yes, Johnny,
single-use
they
ones,
also.
If I could help it, I wouldn't reuse, or at least not put bleach on them.
Yeah, not bleach and alcohol. Yes, Johnny. Also, here they have that. And on just my opinion, I'm not speaking for anyone else on the panel, but for me, I don't understand why would you write that, hey, you're exempt from wearing a mask. Stay home. What? Look. You see my pillows? I got 2 of them. I couldn't help but buy them. Let's stay home. Please, people. Let's stay home. Like, if you are that sick, then you don't need to be out around everybody. If you think you are so ill that you're going to be contagious, stay home. Why would you be out? Edward said, oh, you're welcome. So I'm going to let them finish talking, and then I'm going to get some questions that we have. I was waiting for Angel Lives. I thought she was coming up.
So Vernes,
wanted to know, what do you guys can say, especially the nurses, for us that are afraid to get COVID or think we have it? What remedies can you give us to take to stay from getting sick? You know, I know that there's elderberry and the steam. Tell us some of the things that may help people that are in the public that may want to know what they can do to stay safe from contracting COVID.
So before anybody says anything, here's a disclaimer, and I'm pretty sure this is a disclaimer for all the nurses on the panel.
Thank you.
We are not doctors, okay? We are not
Right.
doctors. We're just sharing our personal experience regarding this topic right here. One of the things that I use personally, I can only speak for me, is vitamin C. I take vitamin C. My children take vitamin C. My husband takes vitamin C. And the number one thing, wash your hands. If you don't want to get sick, wash your hands. Because how many times a day do we put our hands in our face? How many of us eat with our fingers? You grab food and put it in your mouth. You know, if you're going to do that, you got to wash your hands every minute of every second of every single day. So that's the number one thing that you can do to prevent yourself from getting sick or getting someone else sick. So for me personally, hand washing and vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cleo?
I'll also add.
Go ahead.
Sorry. In addition to vitamin C as well, vitamin D is another important one because it helps you absorb the vitamin C and keep your immune system strong. You need vitamin D for immune system as well, so that's another one. And there are hospitals that have been using high doses of vitamin C for treatment because they don't know what's working, so they figured, well, doing what we can to boost the immune system is what we've got at the moment, really.
Right.
Cleo, did you have anything?
I'm bad with the vitamin taking, but lots of rest, lots of fluids, water, and exercise if we can, especially for our lungs.
Now, I also wanted to know, can you guys share, because I already have the list, but I want you guys to tell me, what are some of the symptoms that can be thinking that you may have COVID or you may need to go get tested? Tell us some of the symptoms you guys say, oh, if you get 2 or 3 of these, you may want to consider being tested.
So the number one thing is one symptom does not determine that you have COVID. You have somebody who may present with a fever and they're like, oh, Lord, I got COVID. No, you have to have a series of symptoms. And I'm just going to name a few and let the other nurses name the others. Number one, a fever. And I'm not talking about 99.7. I'm talking about anything over 100, mostly 101, okay? Because you can have a low-grade fever and nothing's going really crazy.
Now, this is adult symptoms though, right?
These are, yes. And again, I'm not a doctor, okay?
Right.
Keep that in mind, guys, I'm not a doctor. Another thing is a loss of taste and smell. That's one of the biggies. One of the biggies. Another is just feeling tired. Where you used to sleep 8 hours a night, now you're sleeping 10, 12, 13
Exhaustion.
hours. Exhaustion. And just keep in mind, guys, these are a compilation of symptoms, not just one, okay? It has to be a cluster. So I'll let the other ladies add any other symptoms that they know of.
One of my patients, they're just sweating a lot because I guess the temperature. Somebody in the chat did say loss of appetite. It is so hard, confusion. So it's similar to, some persons have diarrhea. So it's different with all individuals. So for me, it's best to get tested. I don't want to say, and then it's not so. So the best thing for me, bottom line, is just get tested. It's hard for me, even for me, when I'm getting tested, I'm slapping the person that's giving me. But number one, sorry, yes, guys, I'm slapping my other nurse. I'm like, yeah, until you get used to it. Now I think we have the one that you use your saliva now, so it will
That's
get
the
easier.
rapid test, right?
Yes. So there
Thank
you
you,
go.
boss lady. So Crockett Way and Holistic, Cleo said she gets tested every 2 weeks, Cleo?
Yes.
Do you guys have to get tested every 2 weeks? No? Do you do, Crockett?
No,
Okay.
I don't, because I'm not in an acute setting.
Okay.
So
Holistic, what are some of the symptoms that you've heard or that you know about that may be a little trigger of like, wait a minute, let me think about this, because I have some more that you guys didn't say.
Yeah, a dry cough could be one. Usually runny nose, but sneezing is not one of them. So if you're having the runny nose and the sneezes, that's usually either allergies or a cold, like a head cold. That's sort of two good ones. Usually a moist cough, usually it's not. It doesn't seem to be associated with phlegm production. So it's the dry coughs, absence of sneezing, but still a runny nose is another one.
Okay. So what I have is like 3 to 5 days of the symptoms, and as the days go on, you get worse. Like the exhaustion, you're tired, but then you get exhausted. You have a headache, but then it turns into a migraine. You have a and it turns into when you can't catch your breath. So if you sore throat, now it has to be a severe sore throat, a fever, like she said, a 101 or higher, joint pain, I've heard this, chills, breathing difficulties. So guys, not normal breathing, but if you have a symptom where you cannot catch your breath, you may want to consider, again, contacting your doctor, and maybe your doctor will say, go and get tested. Sepsis, it can turn into sepsis because your body has this icky thing inside that it can't get rid of. So the longer you wait, the worse your symptoms can appear. So I say anything between 3 and 5 days that seem to worsen. Again, loss of appetite, loss of taste or smell, stomach issues. I've heard a lot of those. Chest pain. Now I got this off of the CDC's website. So these are some. Again, stay hydrated, drink your water, do your vitamin C, do the steam, because all this COVID is in your throat, in your nose, and it goes to your lungs. And if you or someone you know does have it, okay, I know a lot of nurses, I'm here in New York, they said don't lay on your back. In case you guys did not know, your lungs are in your back. They're not on your chest, where most people think it's right here. Your lungs are in your back. So if you're laying on your back and you have COVID, it's going to make it worse. Like you're not going to get better. So try on your side, or maybe your stomach if you can, handle that. Okay. So maybe some of you guys know that are on the panel, they said that there was a test you can do for your breathing, like you hold your breath for so long. Have you guys heard of that? No. Go ahead.
That test that you're probably referring to is it tests your lung capacity. So it's just like what you said, COVID starts in the throat. It loves the throat, and then it migrates down into the lungs. So if there's a breathing test being done, what they're trying to do is determine your lung expansion. And see, for those of you who don't know, COVID is a virus that attacks the throat, attacks the lungs. And as a result, the lungs fill up with fluid. And that's why you see a lot of people who are on respirators and they never come off of those respirators because their lungs are filled with fluid. So they need a machine to help them expand, inhale and exhale. So that's probably that test. I don't think that test determines COVID. I think it just tests
your lung capacity, I think.
Your lung capacity, right. And it kind of, it's almost like a piece of the puzzle. You know, it could be COPD, it could be asthma,
right.
It could be, you know, something else. Right. But I do know there is a COVID test. I just found this out, my fellow nurses. I didn't know this because y'all know COVID is new to all of us and all this advancement or whatever. You can get a blood test done to determine if you have the antibodies.
Yes, I know about that.
I found that out like 4 weeks ago. Before that, I didn't know. And I think that's when it first surfaced. So that's another way. So for those of you like me who don't like getting the nasal swab because I feel like they are poking at my brain, I got an instant headache.
Yes. And even though it goes down, it feels like you're poking at your brain.
They did my nose, so it went up.
Ooh.
Up. And you can get the throat swab as well, but I got the nasal swab and it was horrific. I'm not trying to stop anyone from getting it done. That was my personal experience. But they do have where it's almost like an insulin check where they just get a drop of blood to see if you have the antibodies.
So I want to say this, guys, and I'm going to come back to the panel and we're going to almost be done because I know the Crockett Way has to go. So in India, and this was this week, in India, they said 328 doctors have died alone. That's doctors, not anyone else. And that came from CNBC television. Okay. There was a fireman and a lady. They were husband and wife. The wife was a cop and their 6-year-old daughter died. So they did give her body to research because they wanted to see information about COVID. So they took her body because she deteriorated so fast. Her name was Skylar. It is community spread. A lot of these new quote unquote cases from younger people going out, like you said, to the club, being in large gatherings, not wearing masks. You know, now you're going home to your grandma, you're kissing her on the cheek, and now your grandma has it. We have to be aware of what we're doing. COVID is still here. Traveling, okay? This may increase your cases of getting COVID because some people are not wearing masks. Just stay home. Don't be so social. If you have to be social, not more than 6 people, but you still need to wear your mask. As for me, I'm not going to a gathering with 120, 130 people. I'm not doing that. I don't even want to go to work. And not even half of our building is there. And I don't even want to be there then. It's like maybe 12 or 15 of us. And I think that's too much, but that's me. Okay. Don't touch your face or your nose when you're out in public after going into a store or a gas station or somewhere like that. COVID, I know they're saying it may not live on surface. Hey, I'm saying it lives on surface for me because, like I said, I have lupus. I'm taking everything into consideration. If you're in the store with no mask and you sneeze, I'm giving you the side eye, boo-boo. I'm giving you like...
Vernes, I don't know who said that COVID, the virus, doesn't live on surfaces because it absolutely does. It can live quite a few hours, if not a day.
Yep.
So,
metal. Tell them. Metal. Tell them what it is.
It lives
wood.
COVID can live on inanimate objects that are not alive, like your countertop. That's how people get it. That's, if you can get COVID by touching somebody, then touching your face, what makes you think you can't get COVID by touching the countertop? It absolutely does live on surfaces. Yeah. For a long time.
That's what I said. I said it does. They said it don't. The ATM machines. I have a key, not a key. It's a little thing that you can pull open the door, so I don't have to touch the door. I use it and poke with my numbers. And if I do by accident happen to touch it, believe me, I'm sanitizing. Mom's be like, that is too much hand sanitizer. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather have too much. And remember, people are still dying. I just heard of a nurse that just recently died from it. She caught it in, what's this? This is October. She caught it in June. Now, they said she was clear. So she was negative, went back and got it again, quote unquote. She got it twice. I know they're saying you can't get it twice. Got it twice, and the second time she did not come through it, and she did not have any underlying conditions. Regardless of what we're hearing in the news, really, just save people, okay? Because you got to remember, and I wanted to ask you guys this on the panel: the people that are passing from the COVID, I know in the beginning they were cremating. Are they still doing that? I don't know.
Don't know. We didn't have any cases like that.
Because I know in New York, you guys know it was like the Twilight Zone when it happened. It was so many, so rampant, so fast. I mean, they had to have the trailers refrigerated in there because that was how many people were dying from it when it first came out. You know, in the bigger states, the metropolitan areas, because everything is so close and confined. And a lot of those people were being cremated, and people couldn't see their family in nursing homes. And like I said, it's starting to get, it's increasing here again, where now you can't go into the hospital with your loved one, which is awful. But so let me know what you guys want to say, anything. Let me know in closing. Again, guys, if you're not connected to Holistic Downunder, she is trying to get to 1K. She's 26 away. Please check out her about section. Leave her a comment, subscribe to her. Let's try to get her to 1K before this live stream is over. Are you checking your numbers, Holistic?
22 now.
Woo! We got 18 in the chat. Does everybody have Holistic Holistic Living Under? So I'm gonna let you guys tell us, what you want us to let us know about it, about being a frontline worker. Again, how are you feeling? Let us know.
So I wanted to share what I didn't get to share last a little while ago. I was telling you
Yep,
guys
go right ahead.
Those who have sensitive ears to the straps on the masks. I went on Amazon and I bought these little gadgets here. They have plastic. This happens to be kind of like a Velcro, not Velcro, I'm sorry, polyester kind of thing. Okay. And that's how it looks. I got it from Amazon. They have many different ones. And so you put it on your mask. It goes on the earpieces of the mask. Sorry, guys. Like this. Can you guys see? Like that. And when you put it on, it goes, I think it may pop because it's not tight enough.
Like a bird beak.
It goes over, kind of like the other N95 I showed you guys, but it goes like this. So it's not, I'm just messing my hair all up, but you can put it in a way where it doesn't touch your ear. It doesn't go behind your ears.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it goes in the back. And some people,
now you said Amazon?
I got them from Amazon. They got all different kinds. Oh, I love.
Are those disposable?
No. It comes in a pack in case you lose them. They're not disposable. I mean, you can dispose of it if you want, but no, it's not.
So you can wash it.
You can wash it, yeah. See?
Wow, I like that.
See?
I like that.
And they have many different kinds. But like I'm telling y'all, my ears are so sensitive. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Hey, brown girl Bella. But yeah, so that's an option.
Yes, Eat to Live Strong. There was a frozen food plant, meat factories, where like all of the people in the factory got sick. Now, mind you, they're cleaning out meats and so yeah, we have to again be safe. I'm going next week to get tested. It's my anxiety, I know. Oh no. Well, let us know, sis, how it does. What are you guys doing to protect your families? Like, what is your ritual, or if you have one when you come home? Is there anything you do special?
I strip down at the door because I do go into patients' home. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do hospice home. I'm a nurse case manager for hospice. So I go into people's homes. So what I do is when I get home, I strip down right at the door. Laundry room is right there. I spray my shoes with Lysol. I make sure I don't let my baby touch me, my husband touch me, my kids touch me. I go straight to the shower and I take a shower. When my husband comes home from work, he does the exact same thing. Like, we have carpet in our house, so no one walks around in the house with shoes. They stay at the door, they get sprayed.
I do that too.
Yeah, so, and my kids come home from school, because I don't know if you guys know, my kids went back to school 3 weeks ago or so. When they come home from school, they're washing.
They go every day?
My kids go every single day. Yep, they go every single day.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm passing out. I
my
can't.
Kids go every day. They were home. They were home for the first, what is this, August? The first couple of months. Yeah, they were home for the first couple of months. But I'm one of those. I'm in a situation where, like a lot of other parents, you have to do what you have to do. If your kids have to go to school, you know, and a lot of people are unfortunately in that predicament where they can't leave their kids home, you know, and so that's why it's so important that we are doing teaching. We're teaching our children.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's important that we're teaching our children what to do when they're outside of the home. My kids come home and tell me, they're like, Mom, they tell me what the other kids are not doing. And they shake their head. They say, I don't see why they do that, because I'm teaching my children what to do, and they're following.
So they're not wearing their mask?
Some of the kids are wearing their mask down here. You know, some of the kids are wearing their mask down. And you know how, you know, teenagers are. They like to touch each other and wrestle. Meanwhile, my kids are over in the corner, like, stay over there.
Back up.
Bother me.
And they did a short bus.
These other kids just have a good old time. But it's important that we teach, because I was one of the ones that said, oh my God, how can you send your kids to school? Well, we got to be careful about that, because you don't know when people don't have a choice. You know, they have to do what they have to do. So we just kind of empower them by telling them, teach your children what to do. Teach them the right way of doing things. You know, and that's how we can help people, because some people don't have a choice, you know.
At Holistic, I spray my mail. Do you do any rituals when you come home?
Not so much anymore, but yes, we did have take shoes off and everything at the door. Jackets, anything like that. Just don't drag it through the house. Spray it down. We had where our little shoe cabinet is, we have like a spray of, here in Australia it's called Glen 20, which is like a surface spray, and
like a Lysol.
I'll spray down everything on a regular basis. And Sam,
my condolences
was right next to it.
Yeah, my condolences to Living Better and Brown Girl. They said they lost family members to COVID-19. Cleo, you do specific when you come home?
The same procedure as Crockett Way.
Everything at the door.
The boys are in school, so they know what to do. And sometimes when we go and pick them up, it's like, oh my God, same thing what she's saying. Is like, there's no shield, there's nothing. So it's pretty scary. But as we enter the door, we go and have a shower. The same procedure, like if we're in the nursing homes or the hospital, I do the same procedure at home, because again, I work in long-term care. My sisters work in long-term care. We all see the effects. So sometimes I don't like to talk about it, but people are saying it's not real. It is so real, you know. So like my sisters, they experience more death. In my facility, we didn't have much death from COVID, but we did have persons that have or had COVID. So it is. Yeah, it's scary, but the boys know. We go right away. We have shower. We don't walk around in the home with any shoes or the same procedure. And I don't know, like in the islands, how they're gonna cope to isolate and have persons because we sanitize every day, right around the clock. When it's COVID period, persons don't come to the dining room. They have to stay in their room. Everybody get trace service. So I don't know how they're gonna manage in places.
And Cleo, your mom lives with you, right?
Correct.
See, we have to be careful, guys, especially for, quote unquote, when they started, they were saying it was older people. They were saying it was only white people. They were saying now it's only black people. Now they're saying it's kids. Anyone can get this COVID. Anyone can get this COVID. This is a pandemic, people. It doesn't care of your color. It doesn't care your financial status. It doesn't care of your age. pets have even gotten COVID-19. So come on. We have to stay safe. We have never experienced this before. And like I said, I'm frightened. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it and have to be so sick where your family has to say, let's take them off the respirator. That I've been through that with my husband. I don't want anyone to go through that. So I would rather you wear your mask, we be safe, than to be on a respirator. You know, no one wants to see their family members on a respirator. No one. So any positive words you guys can say about this? I mean, I know it's so devastating, but is there anything, maybe something good that have come out of it that you have seen? I know I seen a 100-year-old person that caught it and they came out, which was surprising, but you know, again, it's both sides of the coin.
But there are persons that, as I said, did, like, I know personally individual that had worker and patients, they did recover and they're doing quite fine. But everybody body reacts, everybody immune system is different. Yeah. And for me, COVID, I would say, is a blessing. I slow down. I slowed down. I'm on YouTube and I'm spending quality time with my boys. So that's a plus for me. Like, I will never, I would always like, oh, I want to slow down. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to slow down. And I never did. So now I'm like at alt. Yes. So that's the positive. Quality family time. And I meet new people. Yeah. But we all have to continue, even if we don't believe and nobody knows what's going on, we just have to continue to wear our mask until we know if we're ever going to know. And again, if you have COVID, it doesn't come out of your body right away. 14 days isolation, fine. But
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I was waiting for someone to come on that did have COVID, but I'm not sure what happened. I was looking through the chat. The list is
you're
shared
not
it out, but I don't know what she is.
Crockett, you're not going to be contagious. Is that the word I should say? You're not going to give it to someone else, but it's still in your bloodstream, in your body. So if it's going to be like a false positive, is it? Yeah, that's it.
Yes, they've actually had people shed and test positive, even though it was still their old infection, and that can happen months down the track.
What are some things that you've seen from people that have had it? I know that there's this thing called a COVID toe, where your toes turn black, and it's almost like frostbite is what it kind of resembles. Have you guys heard that? Because I have seen that a lot.
I have not seen that, but I can. Oh, can you hear me? I have not seen it, but I can definitely tell you it comes from deoxygenation. And like I remember telling you guys before, COVID attacks the lungs, and the lungs is what allows oxygen to get into our body through the bloodstream. So if your oxygen capacity is low, then there are parts of your body that are not essential that are going to be depleted, that's not going to get the oxygen they need. And so whenever you see a body part turn black, in many cases, it's because of lack of oxygenation. And you see that a lot in people with diabetes and certain autoimmune diseases. So I haven't personally seen it, but I can tell you, I can understand why it happens. And one of the positive things I'd like to share, Vernes.
What about the...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the positive things that I like to share, I have to agree with Life of Cleo, is it has allowed me to, even though I didn't work during the outbreak, it allowed me to get closer to my YouTube family and just touch their lives in a personal way. I do know some of my YouTube family who have lost family members, and we were able to lean on each other. I've had a couple family members who tested positive for COVID. And I am so grateful to God that they made it through, because there are a lot of people who didn't make it through. And one of my family members who did get COVID, she never left her home. So somebody bought it to her. Okay. So
wow.
Somebody bought it to her. And she is no spring chicken. I can tell you that. She is no spring chicken, but God brought her through. And she was very sick, very, very sick. And just like Cleo says, some people present differently. But I am just so grateful that she made it through. And as a result, every person that came in contact with that family member caught COVID. So actually, 3 of my family members got it. And I remember getting a phone
Wow.
call. I remember getting a phone call from one of my family members that said, please come and see what's wrong. At the time, we didn't know it was COVID. So I knew as a person and as a nurse that when I did go over there to go check to see what was wrong, to suit up. And I'm so grateful that I did, because when I took that family member to the hospital, that family member was positive for COVID. By that time, she had already started to get the first stages of pneumonia. But God, God brought us through.
Okay.
So I'm grateful for that my family members, they made it through when somebody else's family member didn't make it through, and that I was able to get closer with my YouTube family. And also financially, we were blessed as well as a result of COVID. Some people may have gotten a stimulus check. My husband's job gave him some extra, you know what I mean? So that was a blessing. We were able to pay off some stuff that we probably couldn't pay off until next year. So, and another thing, I was able to complete my RN degree at home. I didn't have to leave my house, y'all. I got a video on that if you want to check it out. But yeah, so there's a lot of positives in the midst of the sorrow and the chaos.
Now, what about the length of it after someone gets it and they're in the 14 days and they go back and they test either positive again or negative? Really, it doesn't matter. But if they test positive, I seen someone that tested positive in March, did the 14 days, and they're still getting symptoms till now. This is October. So this is a long-lasting effect for some.
For some, that happens for some people, unfortunately, and those people may never recover 100%, unfortunately. And that's based off what we know now. We're all still learning about COVID. No one has all the answers. When those 3 family members of mine tested positive for COVID, they went through the 14-day quarantine period. 14 days later, they went and got tested again, and they were negative. Now, here's a unique situation. One of the family members had to go to the hospital, and they tested that family member, my family member, for COVID-19, and it showed up positive. He previously had a negative result after the first positive result. He had no symptoms. So as it turns out, he was what we call asymptomatic. He had no symptoms of COVID, but he had the antibodies in his bloodstream. So as a result, and he got the blood test done. And as a result, every time he gets tested for COVID, there's a possibility, based on what we know right now, it will always show up. And I read where someone says, well, is the flu, how do you know the difference between COVID and the flu? The different strains. There's a different virus that can be identified to help determine this is COVID-19 or this is whatever of the different plethoras of flu. That's why people have to get flu shots every year, because there's a different strain. These bugs are smart, y'all. And here's
a question for you guys. You can talk. It says, I hear symptoms can be mild in young children. So besides fever, what should we be looking for?
Just like we mentioned before, you have to look at the cluster of symptoms. Children present with the same symptoms as adults. Now, as far as fever is concerned, it may be a differentiation there, but they still get that loss of smell and taste, that lethargy or extreme fatigue, tiredness. They do have the body aches. Many people who get COVID, they think they have the flu because it presents just like the flu. And if you've had the flu, you know what I'm talking about. And the flu's a virus, COVID's a virus. So the symptoms can be similar, but children can present just as adults with flu-like symptoms. Just like Holistic Living said, there will be an absence of sneezing. If someone's sneezing, it's probably allergy. But if they're having trouble breathing, if they're sleeping more hours than what they usually sleep in a day, and this happens over a consecutive of 5 days or more, and they seem to be getting worse, those are the kinds of things that you need to think about. There's the possibility. So go and get tested.
Holistic. Would you say that anything else on top of that?
No, I think I agree with all of that. Sometimes with kids, it can be subtle. So if they're not themselves, just start looking for those things. Test their temperature, just see, ask them, have you got any pains? Where are your pains? If they're more tired than usual, it's definitely worth checking. Yes, the test can be uncomfortable, but I think I'd rather know than not know and be able to then take precautions as well.
Is the children's test the same in the nose?
Yes.
God. Oh no, the baby.
Although I do know they have those. I know some places they have those stations where you drive in and you can do the saliva one. But I don't know how common they are. I know California have them here and there, but yeah, I don't know how common they are, or like in the United States, because obviously I'm not there.
Cleo, if you guys have any questions in the chat, we do have about another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna be off. So let us know, and they can answer your questions. Cleo, did you want to add anything on that for children?
No, she said it all. She said it all.
Wow. Denise said she had a cousin who said he was immune to it, and he infected his sister, her family, his dad, and his dad's wife died. Now,
oh my God.
In these I don't know if you guys seen it, but I think this was in May. He got COVID in March. In May, there was, I don't know what the heck this. She had a party, and no lie, it was about 1,000 people in the house, and all of them either had the mask down or had the mask on or didn't have the mask on correctly, but they were this close. They literally were touching. Like, why would you go to a house party? First of all, I'd be scared the floor was going to fall in, first of all. But then you're going and you know this is happening. But I don't know if you guys know, a young man did get it from there, and he wound up passing away. And when he was at the hospital, he was talking to the nurse because he was supposed to make a bet and see who could get it first. They had the party to see he got it. He went to the hospital, he went through everything, and he told the nurse, because he was dying, he told the nurse, "Oh, I should have listened. I shouldn't have made that bet. This is real," and he died. So this is real, guys. This is serious. So Holistic said, "Oh my gosh, Denise, yes, that's devastating. Good night." Hi, Rokana. How are you? Thank you for being here. So guys, again, please say thank you. Please, this is our tribute to all of the frontline workers. Hopefully you guys got some information maybe you did not know out of this stream. And again, we are not doctors, but we do have RNs on the panel that just gave you information about the COVID to let you know and to help you decide maybe, hey, I have 3 or 4 symptoms. I've had it for 3 days and it's getting worse, to maybe consider going to get the test for COVID. Yes, in fact, you could test negative. It could just be a cold. It could just be the flu. But if you have underlying conditions, make sure we are taking care of ourselves, okay? And if you're feeling under the weather and it's lingering, that's a key. If you're not getting better, that is a key that, hey, something's wrong. You have some kind of infection. Maybe it's not COVID, but you have something going on. You Can Talk said, "I get nervous every time my little ones cough, but at this point, I know it's just a seasonal allergy. So thank you for sharing these other things to look for." You are so welcome. Yes, tell our frontline workers thank you for their service. Again, it consists of several things. All of us that are on this panel right now are actually frontline workers, okay? Thank you all frontline workers. We appreciate what you do. Yes, because they're putting thank you, Bella, they're putting their families at risk, just as well, if not even more, I would say. working in nursing homes, working in hospitals, working in facilities, you know, that normal some of us don't go to. So it's a lot. Like I said, the firemen, the EMTs, you know, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. And, you know, you have to make sure your mental is right. Naturo said, right, my auntie has diabetes. Brown Girl said, do you suggest people take the flu vaccine this year?
That's totally up to them. You have some people who don't get the flu vaccine because they're afraid they'll get the flu. And that's a very controversial topic. But I would say safely, it's totally up to that individual. So yeah, there are some people who can't take the flu vaccination because they've had some sort of reaction to it or they're allergic to it. If you're allergic to eggs, that's something to consider thinking about, because people who are usually allergic to eggs would possibly be allergic to the flu vaccine. But just to answer that, it's totally up to that person.
Can I also add to that when they develop the flu vaccine, they do it each season, and they base it on the strain that they predict is going to be the most common one that season. That does not mean that that's the strain that's going to come. So you might still get the vaccine and you might still get the flu, but it would be a different strain to what you just got vaccinated against. So it doesn't necessarily prevent you from getting all strains, but some strains.
Bella said, I'm sorry, Thank S said, I did not take the flu vaccine because the last time I did, I got cellulitis in my arm. It caused major problems. Well, I have lupus and I was not going to take it this year, but doctor was like, no, you need to take it. So I did take it. However, I did get quote unquote flu-like symptoms about 4 days later. And I was like, you know, the cough, but it was just, you know, it wasn't phlegmy, you know what I'm saying? It was just a cough. And it was more of a mild headache, not a migraine. It was a mild headache, which was good for me. And sneezing a lot. So like I would sneeze so hard, I thought I was sneezing my lungs. So then I was like, I might not be so, but I did not go get tested. You're welcome, Denise. Thank you all for the great info. I'm definitely going to get tested. Oh, okay. Okay. So guys, we have 8 minutes left, and I wanted to say thank you again, all here on the panel. If you did not thumbs up this live stream, please do so. Please, again, remember to connect to Holistic Living Down Under. We're trying to get her to 1K today. So if you're not connected to her, we have 17 people in the chat. Please, please, please connect with her. Let's try to get her there. Is there anyone in the live stream going live in the next 10 minutes? Let me know. We can raid you if you like. But I'm going to have closing words for the panelists, and I'll start with Holistic, then I'll go to Cleo, and then I'll go to the Crockett Way.
All right. I think just what I want to say is that for this, with COVID, we are all in it together. It's not one area, one country. Like, this is worldwide. It's not since the Spanish flu have we seen this. We all know what each other are going through. We're all here together. We're all going to need to support each other. We need to be kind. We need to be understanding. We need to be patient. Understand that things might take longer than what they do. We need to look after the eldest in our communities, those with disabilities who might not be able to get to the shops, get to their appointments, or even see people. While we can't maybe talk face to face, even just dropping something out their door, waving through the window, saying, you know, here's a little care package for you, something to keep you going. Just, yeah, be kind. If anything, just be kind.
And be considerate of others. Go ahead, Cleo.
Yeah, I agree with her totally, because I have most of my friends are seniors. And when, you know, it kind of quiet down and I go to see them in their homes, they're so excited because retired persons are You know, they are lonely. They don't get a lot of visitors, and my passion is really spending quality time with elderly persons. And they will be excited even to call them on the phone to have a conversation. They're thankful, you know. And if they can't come out, you know, just drop something at the door, and when you leave, they will pick it up. So as she said, be kind to each and every one. For me, I walk with extra mask. And if I see someone that is going, like for example, my son, we were dropping at to school, and this gentleman was going over and he didn't have a mask. I gave him one. He took it. He said thanks. So yes, we all have to help each other in these times, you know. And toilet paper is becoming a shortage.
Oh
Yeah,
Not
so
again.
just buy what we need, you know. Just buy what we need that everybody can get some toilet paper. Yes, and try to cheer up each other, check on each other, family members, to make sure that, as you said, mental health. For me, it's a big deal with the mental health part, to make sure that everybody is dealing with, everybody's okay, not just about COVID, just how are you doing? Because financially, I think COVID hit hard financially on a lot of persons, business, small business owners. A lot of stores are closing, so a lot of people are going to be out of work. So financially, it is hard for a lot of people. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. Guys, I have a second channel called VMAX Show. If you're not connected, please go over there. Over there, I just talk myself. You just get to know me as Vernes, so go check it out. So I'm going to have the Crockett Way talking. If anyone's going live, let me know. Can one of my mods check and see who is live now for me?
So, in closing, Vernes, I have to say I'm very glad that I was able to stay the entire time, especially considering that I was late. So I'm so grateful for that. But I just want to remind people to stay safe. Definitely want to join Holistic Living Downunder and Life with Cleo as far as taking care of those vulnerable populations, the elderly, people who have children who are sick and can't leave the homes. Don't forget about those people as well. And I know a lot of us are afraid of, getting COVID, but let's not lose our humanity. So I definitely want to agree with these young ladies on that. But also, wash your hands, guys. I cannot stress hand washing enough. And hand sanitizer is not a replacement for hand washing. Hand sanitizer is something you use when you can't get to a sink or water, whatever. That's the whole purpose of hand sanitizer, hand foam, gel, sprays, whatever. But the best, most effective way is hand washing. Count to 20 to 30 while you're doing it and do some vigorous scrubbing, and please add soap. Many people don't realize that they're not doing it right. Okay, so wash your hands, make sure you wash your hands, don't touch your face, and wear your masks. Stay away from each other, but wear your mask. So that's the takeaway from us here at the Crockett Way.
Thank you, Eve. She said a great discussion. She said, Denise said we need to be respectful of people's space while we're out social distancing. Yes, yes, yes. Regardless if they say, oh, it's not a law, it doesn't matter. It's a pandemic. That overrates everything, okay? So I want to say in closing again, guys, please connect with these amazing channels. Please, let's try to get Holistic Living Down under the 1K tonight. I thank my panelists all for being here. You know, guys, I love you all. Cleo, Crockett Way, and Holistic, thank you again for being here. Thank you for your service, for being a frontline worker, because we know it's a hard job. I want to tell you guys to be kind, be thankful, be grateful, and be blessed, because there's always someone out there doing worse than what we are. People have lost their jobs. Two family, a husband and wife, have lost everything. You have a roof over your head. You have a car. You have a job. Be grateful for that, because it could all be gone. We don't know what this thing is holding. There are huge companies, like you said, Cleo, that are closing left and right that I never thought would close. You guys know I am a ex-worker. Well, I don't say ex-worker, but I worked there. I worked there till they closed, of Linux. And it's like the China where you get like fancy plates. They closed entirely everything, warehouses, everything. And I'm so sad that they closed. But if you're my member, don't worry. We're going to be having a giveaway, and I got some great prizes for you guys. So I didn't see anyone say anyone was going. Wait, Kristen raid. Oh, Kristen, I'm sorry. Thank you for the raid, honey, but we're getting ready to close out too. Thank you. I appreciate that. But guys, again, just remember to, be kind and spread love and share love, because what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And this is so serious. So serious. So again, guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you, my chat. Thank you, my members. Thank you, my panelists. Again, guys, thank you. I love you all. Love and light. Good night, guys. Panels, hold on a minute. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Thank you, everyone.